This video will contain spoilers from the world and story of Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero. Please beware. Now, when it comes to uncovering secrets in the world of Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero, some are way easier to examine than others. When it comes to a creature, or let's say a biome that you're curious about, well, you can just swim over there, look through it, read what's available about it in your PDA, and then make your conclusions from that. However, what if we were trying to analyze something that can't be examined that easily? Something that you can't simply swim up to and check out or scan with your PDA? What if we wanted to learn more about the Precursors? This mysterious race has definitely been the epicenter of a lot of theorizing and mystery that surrounds the Subnautica games. And while today, we might just be getting one step closer to unraveling some of the mysteries that surround them. Only a couple of days ago, the world of Subnautica Below Zero received a small update, which you can find if you dive into the pinkish crystal caves, and that is what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to look at this interesting asset, we're going to see and analyze what the PDA tells us about it, and then we're going to see if we can go into any theories, or maybe start drawing out some conclusions about the Precursor race. Now, with that out of the way, hop into your sea truck, get ready to sneak past some shadow leviathans, and let's go. Now, before we start this one off, I think it's important to state that number one, it is possible that the location of this artifact is not final right now. Number two, it's possible that the asset and the visuals of this artifact are not final. And number three, it is possible that the outpost that you find it in right now is not final in its current state. A lot of it can still be adjusted, as Below Zero is still in early access. Now, with that explained, let's jump in and swim down through the crystal caves up until you reach the Crystal Caves castle. Swimming just a little bit further, you suddenly get to an area where water stops. That's right, it's a Precursor outpost. Walking through this place, you see some more crystals lining the walls, and eventually another part of the outpost rises in front of you. There on the inside, we can find what most people right now presume to be a part of a Precursor body. Now, this thing is effectively a large Precursor container that on the inside contains what can seem as a part of what could be a biological organism or a biomechanical machine of some sort. Scanning it reveals a little bit more information for us to go off of, and even though I'm guessing this is not the final PDA entry this thing will receive, as of right now, it simply states Architect Constituent Parts, a biological organ contained within an advanced stasis device. Now, I think from this, it is fairly safe to assume that this is a part that would be used to construct a Precursor, or at least one version of them, as right now we are kind of assuming that all of them would have looked the same, but considering the fact that we know that Precursors were very advanced when it comes to combining the biological and the mechanical, it is possible that the body of each Precursor was slightly different. Regardless of that, however, what we're looking at here is clearly stated to be a biological organ, meaning that this thing here has no mechanical parts within it. Looking at it closer, that doesn't even seem to be that much of a surprise, as we can see what appear to be small veins running all across this thing, which appears to be more of a bony, hard structure. Though of course, considering the fact that it is sealed, we have no idea to tell what consistency it is. But in my eyes, considering how we see it move, I would assume to be at least to a certain extent rigid. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to the purpose of this, or what part of the architect's body this would comprise, we honestly have no idea. I mean, it is worth noting that if you look at a warper, inside you can find some parts which somewhat resemble the construction of this organ, so it is perhaps possible that when building the warpers, the architects would have taken inspiration from their own biology when implementing it together with the mechanical parts into the body of a warper. However, there are still some differences there to be found, so that might also very well not be the case. Other than that, it is somewhat interesting that the small veins that can be found on this organ also share that luminescent green color that we can see on basically all of Precursor technology. So you have to wonder if that really has something to do with their biology, or if perhaps it is a key component of how they function. But other than that, this remains a mystery for now. I mean, it is located in a very advanced stasis device, so it is possible that in the story that is still yet to be unveiled, we might be able to learn more about it as we go on, and I am also guessing that the scan that we'll eventually be able to perform might be able to tell us more. But in the meanwhile, we are kind of left in the dark. As into why something like this would be located here, it is kind of an odd location if you think about it. I mean, it is a singular organ that is located in the middle of, well, nowhere really. I mean, you wouldn't think that something like this would need its own cache built around itself. In fact, you would think, considering the fact that we assume the number of precursors that actually ended up being on 4546b to be relatively high, or, well, at least more than one, you would assume that they would probably need like an entire storage for replacement organs, because they supposedly live a very long time from what we know about them. So it's definitely peculiar that we would find this one specific part kind of in the middle of nowhere, almost as if though it had more importance than other organs might have. But of course that is just pure speculation, and we have no way of confirming it for now. Now, if you thought that was everything we had, well, that's not actually the case. See, if you go into another alien cache, this time in the deep lily pads biome, down within the beautiful looking cave, you can find what is effectively a piece of tissue from Alan themselves. Now, I don't want to go too deep in talking about this, because number one, it is very clear from how the place looks that this is not the final way it is going to look. And number two, there really isn't much else to mention about this. The PDA scan tells us that it is a leather-like tissue sample of alien origin, and from the outside it somewhat adheres to what we can see on the organ itself. Sticking to the color palette, adding a bit more purple this time, and perhaps looking a bit more like an exterior shell. So, until Subnautica Below Zero releases, and we can learn more about, well, everything that surrounds the precursors, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have at least something new to theorize about, well, until more updates are released. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, maybe consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. All those would be very much appreciated. And if there are theories of your own that you have, and I'm sure many of you do, please make sure to leave those down in the comments as well. I would very much like to read them. Now with that, I'm gonna wish you all a beautiful rest of the day, and I'll see you in whatever next video I make. Bye bye.